name 22 times.
Did he tell you that we kissed after dinner? We kissed. The dinner with Tommy, we pulled up at Siva's. I locked my keys in the car. He paid to have a tow. Did he tell you that?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell notification so you can get when we upload. For those of you returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean, baby? Listen, let's get into the video and get gay. Listen, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. Chill, lay, baby. We're going to talk to you guys about Alexis and Devyn, their part 2 of the beef. Let me just pour myself one of these sonozotic drinks as well before we start, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't pour too much. Got to save the rest for the rest of the week, you know what I mean? Have done a part 1 where we spoke about Alexis and Devyn going at it back and forth, and I've also recently done a video about Alexis and her game playing and trying to kind of, I guess, explain some of her behavior traits and what the game means for different people, etc, etc. We've obviously been thrown into the Chile pot of madness once again. Obviously the part 2 of their conversation around the table, around the women. One thing I want to say about Alexis is that what I saw from her in terms of towards Devyn was something where, you know, when someone is trying to, I guess, cover their tracks in terms of their embarrassment, and they're prideful about their reputation in front of others, that can often cause the reaction that Alexis had there.
I wanted to see if there was something there.
But why would you want to see if it's something there with this awful dude?
I'm good on him. He's a terrible kisser.
Why would you
terrible
say?
liar. He has a big belly. He doesn't take care of his...
You was feeling that.
A lot of people obviously have their own opinions about Alexis, etc, etc. I see it from a point of view in the sense of, I guess, I've seen people play games before and I know how it always ends up. Winner takes it all, loser's gonna fall. And that's how it always ends. It always ends in a loser falling, because when you play the game, inevitably people play the game because they have an ego, because they are lacking power, they're lacking confidence, etc, etc, and they play other people so they can feel better about themselves. That's the darker side of the game, where it's manipulative and unscrupulous. And in terms of the fight between Alexis and Devyn, what was interesting, I guess, for myself was just kind of watching some of the behavior traits of Alexis in return towards Devyn's, I guess, more cool and articulated response to her in that sense. What I will say as a statement is, as much as I love Devyn too, and I really like her I guess her poise and the way she deals with certain things, something doesn't add up. Yeah, you're hearing information from another party. Now, I know Alexis may seem like the person who gets a little bit excitable, but there's no way you have not thought to yourself, wait a minute, Alexis has been doing the most, they have been getting close, so why would you not be, I'm not even saying threatened, but why would you not even think to yourself, actually, this is something I really need to consider? I mean, because the way she took her argument to London, we'll do that in another video, wasn't as somebody who felt like they distrusted what London was saying.
That is crazy.
So what happened after that night? Did you see her afterwards?
No.
You didn't assist her with getting
That's
into
crazy.
her car?
Why would I do that? Like, that don't make any sense.
Look, if I had to make it clear 4, 5, 8, 9, 22 times, then
Did you not see
let me
the
make it
energy?
clear.
Did you not see the energy on the rooftop?
But rather they distrust what Alexis was saying. And I'm not saying that everything Alexis said was the truth, but damn, I mean, if the girl has accused a man of kissing her, paying for a tow truck, liking her but not liking you, calling your relationship fake, Devyn, I'd have thought that your energy would be a bit more towards London and asking peppering questions. Peppering, you understand? But you've got more energy for Alexis, and the energy should be placed there, it should be placed at London, because in the end, you're going to try and get with London. That's where I don't really get things. Do you know what I'm saying? As much as Alexis is moving a bit mad at this moment, she's not going to end up with London at rate, yeah? She's playing her game, whatever she's doing. But you're going to end up with London, Devyn. And I'm thinking to myself, surely this will be a bit more pepper in the step in the way that you're asking certain questions towards London when certain accusations and allegations are being made. It doesn't mean act crazy. I am not advising anyone to act crazy, but surely it would make you question certain things like, yo, what's actually going on? And the way she questioned London, it didn't seem like she was really invested in trying to ask correct questions where she would really find out the answer. She was almost a bit too cool. And that for me is a big boy concern. Because either you're playing naive, or you are naive, or you truly do have no distrust for what London is doing or saying, or any of the acquisitions that are being made, which makes me wonder. I'ma wonder if I can take you home, girl. I must confess. Alright, so let's break down the video. Let's get actually into some of the actual points that I kind of listed down, and some of the psychological things that were happening. The very first thing is that Alexis makes a comment underneath the last.
I'm not fighting for a joke.
Right.
Like London, really?
We good.
Well, you know,
Saying she's not fighting for joke, but for London, really. And what she was actually saying was that, listen, you know, she's not going to fight for no joke, but she definitely isn't going to fight for London. Like, London's not worth fighting for. And I think this is quite a theme that Alexis was trying to push across. What I saw from Alexis was her trying to devalue the desirability of London in Devyn's eyes, to make it look like that even though London had been the one that seemingly has been chosen by London and Alexis has been rejected, Alexis is trying to create this image and this reputation in the girls' room. Because one thing that people don't understand is, when this game gets played in real life, we don't see all angles. This is the truth. All your girls don't get to see the man all the time in his behaviors. Yeah, so we're privileged in a place where we see all sides of the coin. So that's why in the comment section we can say that. But in real life, the game that Alexis is playing, most people won't see the other side. We get the opportunity to see her talk with Brent, talk with this, talk with that. So we can say, oh, you're talking to Brent, you're talking to this, and you're doing that, and we can say this thing. But in real life, when I see this game getting laid by men and women, they don't see all sides of the coin, because you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can only see the person who you're talking to. And you can perceive something, but you won't be 100% sure. So when I'm seeing this, the beef of Alexis, what I feel like she's doing is, she lost the battle for London, let's be honest. She lost the battle for London, but she refuses to lose a war, right? And so what she's now doing is now trying to create this distorted image of London and him being, actually, I didn't really want it. And what we call that in psychology is what we call sometimes reaction feeling, which is you behave opposite to actually how you really feel. And we see that because when obviously Tommy then asks her, oh, do you still have feelings for London? You see the way that she reacts.
you're in your feelings.
All right, ladies. Let me ask this question. Alexis.
Yeah.
Do you still have feelings for London?
No. Like I said, I was looking in the wrong direction this whole time.
No. And it's like, Alexis, that ain't convincing. I ain't gonna lie to you. That ain't convincing. Especially when you were at the cabin not long ago. And before the cabin, you were there trying to make him jealous. And before that, and before that, and before that. And using other guys as pawns to get to London. Then I don't believe what you're saying. Yeah? And the reason why you're saying no, again, is what we call saving face. It's about saving face. Because now the battleground has shifted from London and attaining London and potentially putting London on her payroll. Whether she wanted him to be in a relationship, whether she wanted sex with him, whatever she wanted from, she had an idea of what she wanted from London, right? But now the payroll has shifted from London to now preserving face in front of the girls. So if you can't win London, cool, but I'm never going to lose face in front of the other women. And that's the way she was behaving in the board, in the girls section, right? So what she was trying to, her first kind of motive or point of call was to, in a sense, I guess, now deface and devalue London, so that it looked like, oh, you got something, but you didn't really get something that great. After, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, yeah, you won, but to be honest, it wasn't like I was even trying. You know, like we used to do, like, you know when you're a sore loser and someone's beating you and you're like, yeah, that game didn't even really mean nothing, I wasn't even trying. Okay, your hands are sweating on the controller, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's where Alexis at the moment is.
I'm not going to embark on this journey moving forward. I'm pulling out.
What? Why?
Because I don't want to be standing next to clowns.
Who are clowns?
At this point, it's clear that London was a guy.
Decided to go down the route of saying, you know, I'm going to be exiting the campaign now. I don't need to be in here. I don't need to be around clowns. And what's interesting is that her language has considerably changed She's gone from classy to now somebody who insults people. And I guess the real facade of somebody who's a sore loser is now coming out. I'm very hasty to call people narcissistic because it's a label which a lot of you have narcissistic traits, and you can't label someone a narcissistic person. We need to be very, very careful. A lot of you in the comment section label people very, very quickly. Let's calm down. Labeling people certain things, we've got to be very careful. And the reason why I say that is because oftentimes the whole point of what I'm doing these videos for is to showcase everybody has certain traits that we see in these people. What you see on the screen, you may see somebody, but know that some of your traits are in these people. There's not one person on that screen that you couldn't resonate with in some shape or form. That there's some part of you that's not in that person. That doesn't excuse the behavior, but we got to be very careful how we label people very, very quickly. And like, you know, it's like, and someone put it as a tweet actually and said, you know, narcissism has now become this kind of buzzword, and it has. It's like narcissism, gaslighting, like, you know what I'm saying, abuser. Like, it's just there's a lot of words that get thrown around really, really quickly, and we just got to be very careful how we label people just because, like, for instance, someone's not a gaslighter, but they may gaslight. They're not a gaslighter. They may gaslight somebody. They may have done something, which we've all done something that may have gaslighted somebody. We may have all had something which was a bit narcissistic. You may have done something that was a bit more prideful. Doesn't mean you are prideful. It just means you've done something at that time. But just going back to Alexis's point, obviously with her ego playing up as well, you know, the fact that she said, obviously, I'm quitting now was, again, another ploy to, again, draw in attention. Because this is all about her trying to draw in attention so that she can execute the next phase of her plan. Remember, the first part of the plan fell flat. She couldn't get to London. So now she has to get the girls on side. And you have to understand that as well. The girls also as well didn't rate London in the first place. So this makes her job even more easier. The girls did not like London. They already said that London is a bit of a game player. So whatever Alex is about to say is more than likely going to get taken on board as being credible or factual, because already they have their idea of London and how he's like. So that makes her points even more truthful, even though it may not be to the girls, because they really have that same similar opinion of what London is, right? So when she always said, oh, you know, I'm quitting, etc., she was bluffing and just trying to call bluff, right? And then she goes on to say, obviously, that London himself isn't ready for love. And here it is. That, I believe, is what we call self-defense projection, yeah? Where you project your own feelings onto somebody else and state that this person's not ready for love. I agree. I don't know if London is ready for love because of the way he's played the game and he's been very indecisive. But at the same time, the way that she came out with the comment lets me know that, obviously, again, there's a bitterness there, there's a hurt there, there's an ego that's been bruised there, and then insults are coming out flying thick and fast. And as she says, obviously, you know, he's not ready for love. Well, Alexis, I don't think you're ready for love. Let's be honest. Now, I've talked about the game that you're playing, etc., and I clapped and I said, bravo, but you're not ready for love.
I'm not going to embark on this journey moving forward. I'm pulling out.
What? Why?
Because I don't want to be standing next to clowns.
Who are clowns?
At this point, it's clear that London was a guy who's not ready to love.
You feel like that Devyn and London have a fake connection.
Yeah, because when you play those games, you're not ready for love. Are you, love? You're not ready for love. So, part the brakes. You're not ready for love. You understand? Mm-hmm. At that point, you know, I must commend Ashima as well, because at that point she stood up and actually said, "Listen, Alexis, like you know, you're not doing Brent here any service when, you know, you're talking here about London, and saying you're gonna quit the process, but you know, there's Brent there." And that was a confirmation, again, if you didn't already know, that Alexis will use a pawn to make sure her kings, to make sure she can take the king off the board. She has no problem sacrificing people to get the win. Yeah? Like I said, the game can change. It's now a mentalist game for her of ego. I need to supply my ego as much as possible. And I must take down Devyn while I'm at it as well. Why? Because she was part and parcel of the game that I was playing. She was the opposition, and I can't let her get that one up on me. if she gets London and I don't do anything, she's got one up on me. And that's the way that Alexis is seeing this. She's created what we call a siege mentality, which is everyone is almost out to get me, right? And that everyone is Devyn. Devyn is not even interested in Alexis, but Alexis is interested in Devyn because solely for the purpose of the fact that London inadvertently has chosen Devyn out of the fact that in some shape or form Alexis did quit. And I'm going to be very honest, London would not have gone for Devyn. He would not have. We saw that in the cabin. In the cabin, we see him go after who? Alexis. If Alexis had not denied him, which was very, very true, I have to admit it, he would not be here. He would be still hanging on. But I would not be saying with his big self, like she said. Yeah? That's what she said, with his big self. And that's what she said. She resorted to insults again. Why? Devaluing London so that it doesn't look like you've won much of a prize. It's interesting to see the reaction of what Alexis is doing. And I'm not sure whether this is the acting part of Alexis now, whether this is really truly herself acting, behaving. But you know, as she was talking, you see Alexis kind of roll her head, roll her eyes, and she just stops contacting with Ashima. Even though Ashima's obviously supported her through everything as well. And that was really interesting for me because it's really, really weird, because if you cared about that person, obviously surely there would be some eye contact because that person you respect, you know, so you're listening to them speak. But she actually turned away, rolled her eyes, everything like that. Wasn't interested in that conversation at all.
It's fair, Alexis, for you to pull back out on this and not give you and Brent a chance on this journey.
Why are you so worried and upset? If your connection is so true with Brent, that should be your focus. But no, your focus is London and I.
About mention of Brent. And again, that just further highlights her dislike for Brent. Interesting, obviously, then, you know, we see then Alexis then, I guess, jump into then explaining that, did he tell you that we kissed? And did he tell you that we paid for the tow? Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm still not sure if she's lying or not. I'm going to be very honest with you because she came slick with it. Although I'm wondering as to why she waited till now to release that information, because surely this would have been information you released earlier on, because, you know, but then I think to myself, why would she release it earlier on? She's here trying to win the game. This was her trump card to bring up later on if London ever decided to choose Devyn. And if I was a game player, that's how I'd play it. I'd be like, I'd wait for the right moment to unleash the trump card. Just unleash it, the trump card. And be like, yeah, but did you know we kissed though? And the reason why I say that is because I've done it before. And I know a lot of guys do it. I'm not proud of myself, but I'm just telling you the truth. A lot of guys do this. A lot of guys will do it like, bro, but I already beat it though. So what are you telling me? I already beat it. You can have it if you want. That's not even a problem. So they didn't say anything at first because they didn't want no one to know. But now there's a need to show somebody that you're the top boss, that you already had it, so it looks like you have my leftovers. Again, it's supplying the ego. So when she mentioned the kiss situation, I can't deny the fact that, you know what, even watching London's reaction, I'm concerned as to whether London, I'm concerned at the energy and the lack of response from London as to whether this actually happened. And I'm thinking to myself, I think this did happen because of the reaction of London. It was nonchalant. It was very blasé. It was very... There was no real energy behind you actually what she said. I mean, someone's accused you of lying, bro. Like, someone's accused you of lying. And someone's actually, someone's alleging that they kissed you. So they're basically lying if you're saying it never happened. And you're acting as if you're calm. I ain't seen that before, but apart from those who are politicians who try to, what we call, damage limitations, who are trying to limit the reputation, and they try to minimalize what actually happened. So you can't deny it, but you're going to minimalize it. And that's the kind of energy that London was giving me. So obviously, you know, and I love the way that, I'll be honest though, I love the way that Devyn turned it around. I love the way that Devyn turned around. You said what?
You stuck your tongue in a man's mouth that you talked about, and he still didn't choose you at the end of the day. Because you put your tongue in a man's mouth, and he still gave you his ass to kiss.
Girl, please.
That's why you're in your feelings.
What? So you kissed the guy, and he showed you his ass. Oh, okay. He kissed the guy and he showed you his ass. And, you know, at that point, Alexis really didn't have much to say. Because at that point, you've been bested again. She's absolutely right. You kissed the man, and he showed you his ass. And you're vexed about it. Do you get me? And that was a fair point, an absolute correct point too with Devyn. And you know, I have to say it was a good smash and serve, man. You know what I mean? And then at that point, after that was said, we see that Alexis again, you know, doesn't want to lose the battle. And you know what? This is interesting because, you know, when they said about the she don't want the smoke, she don't want the smoke, and you see Alexis like, I want all this smoke, I want all this smoke. This is a battle and a campaign. This is only gonna further aid her position in terms of Alexis. Because at the end of the day, she wants to win the battles of wills between herself and Devyn. She may have lost to London, but she's not going to lose to Devyn. And that's where she's seen her head top.
Something there with this
I'm
awful
good,
dude.
like, I'm good on him. He's a terrible
But
kisser.
why would you?
He's
Why
a
would you
terrible
say?
liar. He has a big belly. He doesn't take care of his...
You was feeling that belly.
Alexis obviously said, you know, the kiss weren't great. This, that. His belly's big. And listen, I ain't going to lie to you. When she said that, it took me out. It took me out. The reason why it took me out is because, yeah, Ashima and Tondi laughing, yeah, it took me out. That's why I laughed. That's why I started cracking. I start cracking up when I see Ashima and Tondi throwing their heads back at the comment. Because I wouldn't have laughed any other way, but that comment made me laugh. Like, it's hella rude. Hella rude. But the thing is, the fact that they're laughing, they kind of agree. They didn't even shut it down. Do you know what I'm saying? It took me all the way out. Anyway, sorry London. It's Pete. And as soon as the girls also began laughing, you see that for one of the few times you see that in her seat, you see Alexis being all smug and like kind of have a smirk across her face. Why? Because this whole game was about trying to destroy now Devyn to get her W. You couldn't get your W with London, so now you have to get a W with Devyn. I mean, there were points and times where Alexis got some W's with London, because in the end she did pull out, and that's the honest truth. In the end, she pulled out. Is that not the honest truth? In the end, she did pull out. That's why when people are saying to me she didn't win the game, it depends what game you're talking about. Because it wasn't London who chose Devyn over Alexis. No, Alexis pulled out. Alexis said, "Listen, I'm sorry, I'm going to choose Brent. It is what it is. Do you get me?" And she used Brent as her pawn. So, in a sense, Alexis did win the game. If that's what game she was playing for. If she was playing to win London over completely and be her man, then maybe she didn't win the game. But if her game was solely for the fact that she wanted to prove that she could draw London in, then my guy, she kind of won. That's why I keep saying it. Like, I'm not encouraging anyone to play the game that way. No. Because that's a losing battle. You get me? Because if you really want truly love, that's not the way to play the game.
Why would I do that? Like, that don't make any sense.
Look, if I had to make it clear 4, 5, 8, 9, 22 times, then
Did you not see
let me
the
make it
energy?
clear.
Did you not see the energy on the rooftop?
I did. I
Okay.
did. Absolutely. I saw the energy on the rooftop.
I'm not 100% sure whether the kiss actually happened or not, but by the fact that London's reaction was unconvincing, I think something went down. Definitely something more went down, and we're going to talk about that in the next video between London and Devyn. We're going to break down the conversation that they had and really discuss as to whether London actually did kiss Alexis, or whether Alexis is lying, point blank, period. But again, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click the bell notification. Oi, let us know your comments down below. Some of you are making some great points, and I appreciate you guys. We can have a conversation as well. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You ain't got the minerals, baby. Little black bug, you know what time it is. You already know what time it is.